Okay, welcome to the next session in this series. In the previous session, we ended on question number 81. So here we'll start with question number 82. So the question says convert 0.006586 to three significant figures. Okay, so here we're not going to write them, we are just going to work from here. Okay, so if we count, the first significant figure is what? 6. So we need to count what? 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. So it ends on where? 8. Okay. So let's draw a line on 8. Now is 6 greater than 5? If 6 is greater than 5, then we need to round it. Okay. Cool. So what would that be? So we're going to have 0.0065. If you round 8, you get what? 9. Okay, so that will be our answer, and that is what? B. That is our answer, and it's B. Cool. Let's move on to question number 83. Question number 83 says express 0.000407 correct to two significant figures. Cool. Now, what is our first significant figure? Is this 4 right here? So we need to count how many? 2. Which is what? 1, 2. It ends in 0. So we need to put a line here. Okay, let's put the line there. Now this 7 is greater than 5, so we need to round it. Okay, if we round it, what do we get? We have 0.00041, right? We have 4, 1. So that answer will be, is supposed to be C, but then our C here has 4 zeros. Okay, so for now I think it's supposed to have 3 zeros. The C here is supposed to have 3 zeros, but it has 4 zeros. So for now, let's just shade it as what? C. But we know our answer is 0.0041. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question number 85. It says correct 48,976 to three significant figures. What is our first significant figure? Is what? 4. So we need to count 3 from there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So stop right here. Okay, so let's put our okay. So now this 7 is greater than 5, so we need to what? Round it. Okay, we need to round it. So what do we have? We have 4, 8, 9. So if you round 7, it becomes what? 10. So if that is 10, you cannot just write 10, right? You can't write that. You need to what? Move it forward to the other number, which is 8. Okay, so it becomes 49000. Okay, so that will be our answer, 49,000. Because if you round 89, you get what? 90. Yes, 90. Okay, so answer is A. Let's move on to question number 84. So we just need to simplify. It says we should evaluate this expression. As usual, we just take it one by one. If you're in an exam, just put this in the calculator. If it's an objective question, put it in the calculator. Okay, so let's solve it. We change our mixed fractions into what? We change our mixed fractions into improper fractions. Okay, and this and this. And we know that this line is simply what? Division. Okay, so let's write it. So we're going to have 13 over 4 times 8 over 5 in one bracket. This bracket is just this top right here. Okay, so now we're going to do the line here, which is division. Okay, division divided by the denominator. So we put the denominator in other brackets. Okay, and we change them to improper fraction. That will give us what? 34 over 3 minus 16 over 3. Okay, cool. So now we can simplify this and we can simplify this. Okay, so now we know 4 goes into 8 how many times? Twice. So finally here will become what? 26 over 5. Okay, 26 over 5, because we multiply 13 by 2 and then 1 by 5. So we have 13 by 2 is 26, 1 by 5 is 5. Okay, then we have our division sign. Okay, now the other side you can find the LCM to be 3. Then we'll have 3 goes into 3 once. This 1 times 34 will give us what? 34. Okay, 34 minus 3 goes into 3 once. This 1 multiplies 16, we have what? 16. Okay, 16. So finally we have 26 over 5 divided by 18 over 3. 18 over 3. And we know that 3 can go into 18 how many times? 6. Okay, so this will give us 26 over 5 divided by 6 over 1. Okay, cool. So we know that for division we can just change to multiplication, then we flip this. Okay, so we're going to have 26 over 5 times 1 over 6. We can do a simple cancellation. 2 goes here 3 times and goes here 13 times. So our final answer will be what? 13 times 1 is what? 13 over 5 times 3 is what? 15. 13 over 15. Okay, 13 over 15. That is our answer, and that is B. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question number 86. Cool, 86. So now we just need to what? Simplify. We just need to simplify. Cool, let's do that. Let's put in the numerator in one bracket and the others in the denominator in another bracket, then we divide. Okay, so and also we change the mixed fractions into improper fraction. So we have 1 over 4 times 5 over 2. Okay, cool, in one bracket, and then the denominator in another bracket, that is 12, which is the same as 12 over 1 divided by 3 over 2. Okay, so if we solve this side, what do we get? We can just multiply this and multiply this because we can't cancel out. Okay, so we have 5 over 8 divided by, here we can switch this up. Okay, so we have in the bracket 12 over 1 times 2 over 3, and then this 3 cancels once, and here 4 times. Okay, so finally we have 5 over 8 divided by this 4 times this 2 give us what? 8 over, and then 1 times 1 is what? 1. So we have 8 over 1. Okay, cool. 8 over 1. And division, we know that we can just change this. Okay, and then we flip. So we have 5 over 8 times 1 over 8. So our final answer will be what? 5 over 64. That is our answer. Do you have it? Yes, 5 over 64. In the answer is C. Now, it says which of the following is not a rational number? It says which of the following is not a rational number? Okay, so now, is -5 a rational number? Of course it is. Is 4 a rational number? Of course it is. Sorry, root of 4 is a rational number? Of course it is, because if you find root of 4, you get what? 2. Okay, so this is also a rational number. Is this a rational number? Of course it's a rational number, because you can just change this into fractions and you get an improper fraction, and an improper fraction is what? A rational. Not all improper fractions are rational numbers, but this particular one is a rational number because you get you're not going to get any recurring decimals, okay? Because that will give us 3/4, which is 3.75. Sorry, 3 whole number, and then a 3/4, that will be 3.75, okay? So this is a rational number. But this here is a rational number? No, because you're going to have what? 3 roots of 10, and the square root of a non-square number is what? Irrational. Okay, so this is not a rational number, so our answer is D. Cool. Let's move on to question number 88. Question number 88 says correct these 9,453 times 10 to the power negative 6 to 3 significant figures. So in order to do this, we first need to write this in decimal form. You need to write this in decimal form. How can you write this in decimal form? What we need to do is what? Look at the exponent of say the exponent of 10 here, and then we move the decimal points in the number that much times. Okay, if it is negative, we move the decimal points what? Towards the left, and if it is positive, we move it what? Towards the right. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So we have 9,453. So this number here has an imaginary point over here, dot over here, 0.0. So let's just put it there. Okay, 0.0. The same thing. This number and this number, yeah, just this one is the same thing. Okay, so now if we have times 10 to the power of a number, we need to look at that number and then we move the decimal points either to the either to the right or to the left. Okay, if we move it to the right, then those positions will have what? 0. Okay, but then if you are moving it towards the left and there are numbers over there, they won't have 0 until you get a point where there's what? No other numbers, then those places will have what? 0. Okay, cool. But now here we have negative 6. So how do you go? Do you go to left or right? No, we go to the left. Okay, go to the left. So you are going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and this places will be what? 0, 0, and put our decimal point here. Okay, cool. So let's do that. And move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you put 2 zeros there, then our decimal point will be here. Okay, cool. So now let's rewrite it. That will give us what? 0, 0.009453. So what comes before the point? What comes before the point? This point now we have here. What comes before it? We put 0 because that's what it means. Okay, we put 0. So our answer will be 0.009453. Okay, 0.009453, and that is the answer is B. Okay, B. They just remove the 3 from there. They remove this 3 from there, but it's the same thing. They try to round it, and 3 is less than 5, so it can't be what? Rounded up. Okay, cool. So we leave it like that. So that is our answer for question number 88. Thank you so much for watching. In the next session, move on to question number 89. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next time. Bye.